Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and hello to everyone wherever you are on this fine planet of ours. Hope everyone's well. It's another Monday. We've got through another weekend of madness and mayhem and Spursiness. What's new? Hope everyone's doing good. Before I start, I just want to do massive shout out to the members, all listed now on my sheet, except I've just noticed it says LL Cockerell, not LTL Cockerell, but big shout out to everybody who has become a member of the channel. After the international break, I will be arranging to do some member only streams or members phone in, something like that. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to do. Also, after the international break, myself, Ellie, and Mia from Spurs Between the Lines will be doing a collaboration. And after every game, we will be doing instant match reactions. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jim's just reminded me. Big up Chem62 as well, who's also a Patreon member. So, yeah, instant match reactions will be coming after the international break as well. Obviously, yeah, lots of exciting stuff. But if there's anything you members want to see, if you would all participate in a phone-in, let me know. If there's any days, times works best, because there's time differences. And you know, me being blonde, I can't cope with them. So, yeah, that's what's going on here. So before we start, let's have a look who's in the chat. We've got Bobby K. Big up, Bobby K. Always good to see you. I hope you're well, my lovely. Big up also to Tigaro, big support of the channel, also a member, as same as Bobby K, another member, but also a member and also gifted 5 memberships last week, I think it was. So big up to you, Tigaro. Says, morning, Kate, Jim, and everyone in chat. Jim is watching. He's not typing. He's struggling with his arm still. So he wants to make sure that he's fit and ready for the Mickey Hazard live show on Wednesday. So he's resting his arm. But he will be able to see what everyone's writing. Big up Drew Lala, another member. Hope you're well, my lovely. Big up Andrew Gregory. Hope you're well. Wayne Bonner's in the house, another member. Says, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great Monday. Building manager, big up to you. Not seen you before. Says, I'm only here for the Højbjerg and Dyer hate. Yeah, we'll get onto that. Big up Mark CFC, another member. Says, hey, Kate and Ellie, hope you're both good and hope you're feeling better. Ellie's not with me today. It's just little old me. Ellie's got a nasty cough. I'm still struggling a bit with my fibro, not going to lie, my neck and my shoulders. I tried to relax this weekend, but they're still not great. But I'm doing the show today here now, and then I'm on the terrace at 6, so I'm making sure I'm not overdoing it. And I bought one of them lovely hot water bottles that sits around your neck, which has been an absolute godsend. Big up to another member and my co-host Ellie, who says, I'm here for my beautiful girl Kate, looking lovely, and let's hear it as you saw it, like I know you will. Big up to you, Ellie. And what made me think this was Tuesday? I don't know, but me and Ellie's not doing a show on Tuesday lunch. Now we've got the new ladies show on Tuesday evenings. We don't want to overdose you all on Kate and Ellie. So it will be just me, I think, again tomorrow. So, yeah, big up to you. Big up Chem62, Patreon member. It says, afternoon, Kate, and all in chat. Glad I'm able to chat to you live. Need a bit of therapy, as a bit down the weekend was hard to take. Hoping that Ange gets back in January. Yeah, know exactly what you mean, Chem. Big up to you. Big up, Leo. Hope you're well and your feet are still looking beautiful after your pedicure. Afternoon, Jason Nunn. Yes, how bad were we? We will get onto that. Rob Belcher's in the house. Big up to you. Said, if there's ever a time for Jim's positive thoughts, it's now. Big up all in chat. Yeah, Jim's still feeling positive. It was a difficult one to take. Let's not tell lies. It was a real difficult one to take on Saturday. But I could see it coming. Big up, Leo, says Drew Lala. It's now 5 minutes past Tuesday here in the land of Oz. Wow. So I can't cope with that. It's Monday here and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. How can it be Tuesday there? I just can't cope. I just can't. Can't overdo Kate and Ellie. Ah, that's sweet, Mark. What we was worried about is if we do a Tuesday lunchtime show and we talk about, say, the Wolves game, then Tuesday night it's me, Ellie, and Mia, and we don't want to be regurgitating the same thing, because otherwise you just get bored of listening to us talking about the same thing. That's why we decided to do it this way. But Ellie can jump in anytime. She knows she's always welcome. So yeah, Saturday. I don't really know what to say about it, really. I thought we came out the traps, obviously absolutely flying. Brennan Johnson got his first goal for us, which I thought he took lovely. I must admit, I don't think he looked awkward at all playing down that left side, which the first time I saw him play there, I thought he looked a little bit awkward, but this time I thought he looked quite comfortable on the left. Yeah, so we nicked that early goal, and I thought, this is it. Someone's going to get a hammer in, and all this chit-chat about Spurs falling apart because they've got all these injuries will go out the window. But Ange made the decision to play more of a defensive shape, shall we say, and it backfired massively. I don't really know what to make of it, because one week he says he never changes tactics for anyone or any game, and then he blatantly changed his tactics and it didn't work. So I'm a little bit confuddled as to what to make of it all. I'm not going to lie. Jason says, Dyer, Davis, Royale, PH, last season's players, no shock at the result. Yeah, I do think Davis had a really good game, and I think he was the right candidate for man of the match. Dyer is appalling. Royale is appalling. Højbjerg was ineffective. I thought Son was poor. You know what? I thought just generally we were poor. We looked off the pace. It was just a really below average performance. I think Vicario was decent, although a lot of people are saying he should have saved the second goal. I mean, Ange said they ran out of legs at the end. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but why say 1 minute you're never going to change your tactics and then change your tactics? Something don't sit right with me there. Ellie says, I'll never hate Højbjerg. I don't even hate Dyer. I just think he's not a good defender of football, but hating is harsh. Yeah, I think hate is used, but I don't necessarily think people might hate them. It's just a word that people use. Big up, Leo. He said, Kate, we did okay the higher line and we still crumbled at the end. I can't be mad at Ange. He literally did the best he could with what he has, honestly. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm turning on Ange. I just don't understand why he played more defensive. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm running out of words to talk about Spurs. It's all a bit strange at the minute. Big up to my nephew and member. Ben Kaufman's in the house. Hope you're well, darling. Big up to Andrew Gregory. Give Dorringtons, Phillips and Donnelly a chance. This is the thing. Mia is in the house. Big up, Mia. Hope you're well, lovey. He had to adapt to the players, I think, not the game. Yeah. Our country and our team are badly wounded. Big up, Norman, by the way. Good to see you as always. It's also depressing. Think I'll have a walk and check my neighbour's bush. It might. Big up, Tigaro says Basuma was woeful. He's been woeful the last few games. I don't know if he's playing with a little bit inside himself because he knew he was just one yellow away. But obviously, we're going to be without him now next game. Another one. Nice to see you, Robbie. Hope you're well and you're not working too hard at college. Big up to you. She hates Arsenal, LA. Yeah, we all hate Arsenal. Chinaman says, I think because of the players, he had to change his tactics. Yeah, but you know what? This is what I don't understand, right? We've had Ashley Phillips on the bench, so why did he play Dyer? We all know as fans he is not good enough. He's not a very good football player. He's let down manager after manager after manager after manager after manager. But he still finds a way into that team. Jim said to me he would never play for Spurs again after pre-season. And he is still finding a way into that team above Ashley Phillips, which says to me that when Ange said, I want 2 centre-backs, he obviously wanted Van der Ven, who's proved to be a brilliant signing, but it says to me he did not want Ashley Phillips because he's not good enough, because otherwise why would he be sitting on the bench? You know, and there's all this talk about Ange liking the youth and bringing players through, but he's sticking with these same tried, tested, and didn't work options like Dyer, like Davis. You know, Lo Celso came on, useless. He's got Phillips on the bench, didn't use him. He's got Valise on the bench, didn't use him. I don't understand what's going on with it all, really. I'm not going to lie. For me, I wouldn't have Lo Celso anywhere near that team. I think he's awful. His attitude stinks. I would have Alfie Devine recalled and bring him back from Port Vale. He's not playing there. He's had like a couple of appearances. He hasn't even played a full 90 minutes, I don't think. But he has got to be a better option than Lo Celso in place of Maddison. So that would be what I would do. And maybe try Kulu in the middle. And Still mentioned it on Friday. Try 4-player midfield and just have Johnson and Sonny up the top. But either way, we look diabolical, and I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I can't see us beating Villa. I can't see us beating City. Newcastle look a bit out of sorts because they're injury. They're in an injury crisis, but I don't know who they'll have back by our game. Then, of course, we've got West Ham. They're so dangerous going forward. Oh, I just don't know. Spot on that, K. Beyond, big up to you, Beyond 72. Says, afternoon, everyone. Fair play to Davis. I'm always knocking him, but he turned up. Yep, I do agree. Would you say Ashley Phillips and Valise are club signings? Yes, I would, Ellie. I don't think Ange had any say in them. I don't think he wanted them either. Not at all. All these people that convinced me. Do you know what? When we did that debate, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to gloat a little bit here. When we did our Wedded Bliss and I lost, that the transfer window was above average, all you hang your head in shame, because this is exactly why it wasn't above average. It was a terrible window because we have proven now we are down to the bare bones that are simply not good enough. I think people get blindsided by the fact that we signed Vicario, we signed Maddison, we signed Van der Ven and go, oh, it was a great window. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, because we're still too short. Jason says, all this crap, oh, these are Ange signings. It's crap. These young signings will always be Levy signings. I've been saying it all along. I was told Ange isn't a yes man. Ange wouldn't say it was his signing. Of course he bloody would. He gets paid millions of pounds. He'd say whatever they tell him to say. Jason said, my one-legged granny is a better option than the Celso. He is appalling. Just so bad. The kids will play at home. It's a given. Phillips and Donnelly will get minutes next game. I hope so. Big Up Minerals says, up the Minerals. Lamina is better than Højbjerg. Let's have it right. Ange needs to land it. I can't. I haven't even got to come back with that. I'm feeling dejected. Eltel Crocodile said, good afternoon, my darling Katie. Nice to see you. Hope you and Jim are on the mend. Yeah, I'm a little bit like my shoulders and neck are feeling a little bit easier. Jim is still struggling really bad, bless him, but he's back at hospital next Monday. Mia says, I disagree, Kate. He speaks to the players and said no player comes unless he okays it. Yeah, I know. I don't agree with that. I think that's a load of twaddle myself. But we'll see, because when he eventually gets sacked, which he will, I can just see it coming already, we'll find out the truth. But I personally don't believe it. Not at all. Would you take Lamine? No, not really. I'd like someone better. On our first 10 I would buy left back, centre back, right back, 2 centre midfielder, centre. Well, that's not going to happen. I think we'll be lucky if we get 3 in. We need a centre back desperately. We need backup through Doggy. We need another creative midfielder. I think we need a striker. We look shambolic. We're back to the Spurs that we saw for season upon season. And there's always a common denominator with failure, and it all comes back down to Daniel Levy. I'm just saying, it always comes down to Levy. On paper, the team looked balanced, but reality didn't work. Same faces letting us down. Agreed, exactly. Chem62. Porro, Basuma, Sarr, Son and Kulu need upgrading. Ooh, harsh. I don't agree with that. I think Porro's good. Basuma has been good. Jose, I think you'll be very, very reactionary, because Porro and Basuma, the first few games were fantastic. Sarr has got massive potential. Sonny you can't say that he needs upgrading. He's been brilliant. I know he's not consistent enough, which is why we need another striker. Kulu, I still think would do a job in the middle, but I think that's a really reactionary statement to start chucking out those players because they're decent. Come on. It wasn't long ago we were saying Bissouma's like part of the best midfield in the league. You know, I think that's very, very reactionary, that statement. Wolves are a very physical team, mate. Lamb's to slaughter at Molyneux. If he signed Phillips, does he honestly think Dyer is better than Phillips? If that's the case, why bother signing Phillips? Couldn't agree more. Kuva says, how quickly my optimism vanished with one game. We saw against Wolves that we can't even play Angie's way without those missing players. Either it's time for youth or we change our style, to be honest. Agree, Cooves. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling all right, my love. Yeah, they're just not Ange-type players. How many games has Biss been a boss for 90 minutes and 12 games? Yeah, I agree. The last 4 or 5 games, I think he's been poor, but I think to just write him off and say that we need to get him out of the club is a bit harsh. And the same with Porro. Yes, there's better right backs, but we need to have options on the bench that are as good as or better. I don't think you should be talking about upgrading them as though we're going to get rid of them. Oh, excuse me. Mark says, Tigara, I know that, but so is Dyer, mate. And then, you know, if they can play Villa and City, now you're flinging them in those 2 games, in my opinion. Yeah, I can't say I disagree. Ben's 100% fit and Sarr doesn't get in. Of course, I think we can all agree on that. But Sarr's done a brilliant job. I thought he was poor at the weekend, but generally, I mean, I'm not one of these people that call him Sarr Toure and he's a superstar. I don't get that hype that surrounds him, but I do see that he's got potential to be a brilliant player if he beefs up a little bit. But to say, but he's a different level to Bentancur, 100%. But what we don't want to do is rush Benny back and risk losing him as well, because then we really are screwed. Struggling to go into a counsellor's not coping with the loss of Dad. Also, Spurs didn't help. Big up, Kim. As I said, if you ever need a chat, message me on my community page and I will always get back to you, my love. Cooper's happy, but Cooper's happy in the long term and knows we just have to ride the next few weeks out before things pick up again. Yeah, I think it's going to be a difficult December. January's going to tell us if Levy's changed his spots, and I'm already predicting he won't. And then, we'll take it from there. Jose says, Son's a nice gentleman, but not a leader. Has lost his mojo 18 months ago. Will score goals, but doesn't frighten anyone anymore. Jose, again, I think it's reactionary. I don't agree with that at all. Not at all. Being Eeyore has its perks. I never expected anything, so I'm not disappointed. And any achievement is a big plus, like the Swiss flag. To be honest, I said on the terrace, didn't know which way it'd go with Wolves. It was always going to be difficult. They're a very, very physical team. I mean, really physical. I thought that the ref was a bit lenient with his cards because there were some savage tackles and slaps and all sorts going in. But yeah, it's always going to be difficult. There's no easy game in the Premier League. There really isn't. You know, people joke and say Luton are going to be the whipping boys, but even they're difficult to break down. So, yeah. Yeah, Benny went on international duty, I know, but I doubt they're playing for 90 minutes. But we'll see. Kate May Sarr got the minerals. He should start with Højbjerg, double pivot for the balance. Yeah, that's not a bad call. So that's 2 signings. One hasn't been used at all and the other for least a few minutes here and there. Yeah, and I've not been overly impressed with what I've seen. I'm sorry you're struggling. My DMs are always open if you need a chat. Yep, same applies. If we replace those 5 with upgrades, then those 5 can sit on the bench. Nick Brown, big up to you. Another member says, I agree, Kate. We have to integrate Ben gradually so not to risk him. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even expecting him to see him at all till the end of December or mid to late December. So, yeah, it definitely needs to be a gradual process. Yeah, Bissouma's not been right for a few games. I think him being edgy on the booking has kind of knocked him for 6 a little bit. So hopefully when he comes back, he'll be back to his normal self, we'll see. I'm actually okay if we have an underwhelming January window, as long as we get things right in the summer again. It will be tough to take, and I'm expecting a huge fan backlash, though. 100 million %, Cooves, %1,000,000. I'd play that way with 5, Ben, then not playing that way in the very next game. Sorry, I'm lost. Bill, that's exactly how I started this stream. I said, I'm confused. I don't know what to say about it, because he's contradicted himself in the space of a week. and I don't get it. I don't get it. Big up, Lee. Hope you're well. Afternoon, all. Good afternoon. John N says January should be interesting to see if Levy opens his checkbook. We need 3 to 4 more to cover injuries and internationals. Yeah, minimum of 3. I'd like about 6 or 7, but won't happen. But we definitely need at least 3. Tigaro says Dyer was good for 90 minutes until he wasn't. Ange saw what Chelsea did to us and didn't want the boys in the firing line. That is Ange's challenge now. Teams will try to bash us. Mineral says you should have signed Tapsoba to compensate the Van de Ven injury, leaving Muddy news again. Couldn't agree more, Minerals. We went from being linked to Tapsoba to Tosin Adebayo to signing Ashley Phillips. If that's not Levy, I don't know what is. Do you know, that just sums up Levy in a sentence. Come on, 2 games, we'll bounce back. We're still 4th, 2 points away from top. Not too bad. I agree, Drula, but I don't see us bouncing back. Not yet. Not with the team we've got. I can't see it. Kate, do you feel that we need to sign a striker and a proper centre-back that can be available from the off? 100%. None of these children that need developing. We need someone that can walk into the team. Lloyd Kelly not being the answer. I really like Max Kilman from Wolves, but the chances of getting him are low. But yeah, we need a established striker, established centre-back, in my opinion, because again, we're going to lose Sarr, we're going to lose Basuma, we're going to lose Sonny as well in January. So we need to have backup cover for them. I mean, it's actually quite terrifying, I think, but you know, it is what it is. Happy Monday to you, Bobby K. Always good to see you. Another member. I don't get it either. Maybe he's just a fat Aussie. I don't think he's that, but I do think he needs to be careful what he says. Do you think we lost a game? Do you think if we lost, say, 5 games, lost a game, say 5 games in and won Saturday, people would be as dramatic? I doubt it, to be honest. Oh, instead of losing 2 in a row. I don't think it's the losses. I don't think it's the losses. It's the fact that we've got such a crap squad and the fact that they're playing again. Dyer, everyone said pre-season he'd never get in the team. I knew he would. I knew he would get in that team because we've got no one else. It's just an absolute joke of a club, I swear. Coob said, I don't think the way we played against Wolves was Ange's doing. He said afterwards players lacked sharpness and we lost our normal game. Yeah, the players, but they train with Ange. Why don't they know how to play Ange's way? I don't understand. I know it's early days, but if they can't play his way, don't play them. Play the youth, see how they get on. They're all playing this Ange ball in the under 21, so I don't understand why he's not playing the youngsters. Mark says, I didn't see your game, that's why I didn't comment on performance, but I get it. Until he wasn't, you could accept it from a younger player against Wolves, 100%. Oh. Ellie says, we need a proper right back and a proper right or left winger with flair, pace and goals in him. Yep, agreed. Big up, Amir. Always good to see you. I'm doing better, thank you. I hope you're doing good, my friend. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Oh, God, Mr. Positive wants to come on. Just bear with me 1 second, people. Sorry. My husband, I don't want to come on. And then when I'm on, he goes, can I come on? He's going to be all, oh, you're so doom and gloom, but I'm not. I'm just realistic. I can hear you. I know you can. Oh, babe, I've got to log in and everything. No, log into my StreamYard. Sorry, people. This is so unprofessional. I should sack him. I am back. I'm just going to put it out there that I am actually on the football terrace tonight as well at 6 p.m. representing Spurs. So I'm going to get bantered, I've no doubt. But yeah, if you're around, peeps, 6 p.m. I am back on the terrace tonight on the top 6. So as I say, I'm bound to get bantered. 3, 1, 2. There we go. Right. Invite guest, copy. Sorry, people. It's his husband's fault. Blame him. I was right in my flow then, and he's thrown me off. Coover says the only way I'll start questioning Ange is if he continues to pick Dyer while expecting him to cut out the errors. Yeah, I'm questioning him already for that decision, Cooves. I ain't gonna lie. Bill says Lloyd Kelly plays left back and we want him as our centre back. We're actually clueless. Same as Levy every time. Square pegs, round holes. If you need someone to play in centre back, you buy a centre back. Do you know what I mean? It's not hard. I don't know how this man gets away with it year on year. Nick Brown says Ashley's a good investment for the price and potential. Yeah, but we need now. I don't want potentials. I want now. We need ready-made players now. Jason says no Son, Saar, Basuma, Madison and Van der Ven in January plus whoever else. That's scary. It is. It's terrifying. You know, I'm fed up of people saying, "Oh, but it's terrifying." Yeah, Jim needs to bring some positivity. Yeah, but you need some realism as well. And, there's no positive spin to this, no matter what anyone says. I agree, Jason. I can't see any positive spin. Before anyone says Kelly's young and can be moulded, he's 25. Yeah, and he's crap. Even the Bournemouth fans want him out. I mean, come on. It's awful. Big up Dakaru. I've avoided all channels since Saturday. Just don't want to talk about it. Dyer was terrible. Our squad depth is so shallow. I actually think I've been saying that since day one. Yeah, agreed. Kem says, Jim, need your positivity. The result has rocked the fan base. It's not rocked me. I saw it coming. It's just annoying because it had Levy had a good window, which again, I will say I did lose the argument that our window was poor. And I'll be proved right again, just saying. But had he invested properly in our team, we wouldn't be in this position. All good. Great shout out for you guys. Looks like Potch bringing you guys back to life. Yeah, what a game. Tigaro, what happens if you fling them into your next two? But yeah, I agree, that's up to Ange. But if it's Dyer and Davies against Watkins and Haaland, I know who my money's on and I stop gambling. Agreed. I'd rather have Lorraine Kelly at centre back. It's hilarious. Just popping in to say it's a project when you were never going to win the league. You have to hang until Jan. Big up Ian Ferguson. Always good to see you, my man. We have a defender for now, Kate. Beckham Dyer. Oh, don't. Big up, Mia. Thanks for the super chat. As always, I respect your opinion, and that's why we have good conversations, because we'll no doubt talk about this on Tuesday. Yeah, we can be adults and have a conversation, and yeah, big up to you. Thank you again for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. And here comes husband. All right, Jimbo.
You know what? All right, darling. I had no intentions of going on any streams until Wednesday because of my arm. But I'm listening, and my head's going tight, and I don't like my head going tight, so I had to come on. There's so many positives to look at. Oh my God, everybody's looking at the negative. We could go on about the negatives all day long, right? Because I really believed we was going to win the league this year, but I was a bit naive because I thought we wouldn't get any injuries, that we'd get away with it. And we haven't. Everything hit us at once, right? So I'm going to say to you now, right? I don't think we can win the league now. I think that's gone because of the seeing what we saw the last two games. Right? I saw the big. Seeing what we've seen the last two games, and the crap he's got to bring on. But there's so many positives. We're so many weeks into Ange's project, right? And we was given something to believe in by Ange after the first 10 games. He gave us something to believe in, and I don't regret saying that I thought we'd win the league because it felt good for them 10 games, right? They're going to buy in January. They're going to come in early, and you can shake your head. You wait and see. Them players we're going to get are going to come in January. We're going to slowly get our players back from injury, right? And suspensions, and we kick on again. And I'm not just going to sit here and say we can win the league because I'd be stupid if I did. But we can still be up there. We can still get top four, definitely. You know,
Jim, you keep
moaning about this. That we can't do nothing about
Jim.
there.
You keep really. You're going to have to go out and come back in. You keep sticking.
Hang on.
Matata. No, it was nothing to do with Ange. I've been wanting to do one for ages, and I just thought I'd do it. So I started my channel before we had a new manager, and I actually said I didn't want Postecoglou. I'm just going to put that out there. I wanted Arne Slot, but in fact, I'll tell a lie. My number one choice was Poch, but when it looked like when we found out Poch was going to Chelsea, I wanted Arne Slot. I didn't want Postecoglou because I just didn't want him. So, but no, I started this in June. So before we even had him. Even if we brought one centre back, we couldn't have predicted what happened. No, I agree, but I just think our squad's just too thin. We're only 2 points behind, so we must not be too behind. So when we do get our players back, we'll be in the house, in the mix by hook or by crook. We'll have to try and grind out these shithousery results. Ellie, the thing is, our first 11's brilliant and can compete with anyone, but we're always going to get injuries. It is what it is. I'm not saying Kelly's the answer, but he was good against Newcastle. He's awful, Rob. Honestly, he's so average at best. I just think he's awful. Sadly, I'm accepting that we built a paper-thin, poor squad over many years, and it will take many years to repair it. January is important, but summer's crucial. I agree, but I disagree in the fact that January is crucial as well for me. I think it has to be January, summer for a good 2-3 years. to build the squad up to where it needs to be. I agree with you, mate, but teams have worked us out to an extent. Physicality is our kryptonite. Yep. I predicted the injuries. Yes, Ben and his crystal ball. Ellie, this is my second hello. This is becoming too frequent. I say hi, you don't respond, and you complain I don't say hi. I would not tolerate this behaviour from you for much longer. Sort yourself out. Sort it out. He was in the building. He keeps sticking. I don't know if you noticed, but he was miles behind. Tigara, these boys could shock everyone against Wolves, but the other two, with the way they're playing, come on, Jim, cheer me up with positive attitude. Jim, if you can't get it working, go on your phone. Big up to Matata. How many times have we heard this, though? Oh, we'll go for it in January. No effing way, will we? Of course we won't. You've only got to look through the years and see we don't invest in January. We barely invest in the summers. When you hear not once, not twice, but more than that Davis dropping back covered Dyer's backside, I still haven't lost hope in Davis. A brick would play better than Dyer. He's back. Did you have updates?
Well, look, I don't know what it was. I don't know. It's probably just because I'm using it because I'm shit at tech. Right. Look, we got so much to look forward to. We're a matter of a few months into Ange's project. He said it was a project. He said there'd be bumps, right? We had a really good run, and we had got hit with a lot of injuries and suspensions all at the same time. Spurs' own fault, right? The suspensions, we can't defend them, but we got so much to look forward to under this manager. We got to be upbeat about it. You know, it's not. They're going to slowly trickle back over the next few months, and if we lose a few games, so what? It's not the end of the world, right? We're just when we get our players back, we'll crack on again. You know, it's not all doom and gloom. There's loads to look forward to. Just so much to look forward to. I can't be downbeat about it. You know, you saw me the other day when we lost. I said, all right, we've lost, and if we lose a few more against Villa. It's not, don't get downbeat. It's not the end of the world. January, we kick on again when we get our players back from injuries, you know, and we buy a few, and we kick on again and look forward to next season. This season's not done yet, not by a long shot.
Big up, Bobby K. Thank you for the super chat. Says double on board, Jim. Don't go to the dark side.
Never.
3 weeks' time, we will be saying, "Oh, we're only 8 points behind." I agree, Jason, 100%. I can't be doing all this fluffiness.
Do you know what? Right? Let's say we don't get Champions League. Right? It's the first season under Ange, so if we don't get Champions League, we don't get Champions League. Let's just look forward to what we're going to get under him and kick on. You know, you've got to understand the players he had on the pitch. You give them to Pep, see how he gets on with them. It's not the manager. It's the players.
Bill, I agree. We all know how this ends. Ange gets sacked. I see it coming a mile away already.
Oh, my God. Do you know what? I can't cope with it. I can't. A few losses and everybody's like hitting the floor.
Jim. No. That's where you're wrong. It's not a few losses and everyone's falling on the floor. It's a few losses. We've got a paper-thin squad, and who's going to get the blame for it? Ange. I'm not saying he'll be sacked this season. I'm saying I can see it coming in the future. He will get sacked.
Kate, let's, before we all jump the bandwagon and pretend we've all got a crystal ball, which no one's got, right? Let's see how we perform in January. See how Levy performs before we start throwing everyone under the bus. Let's see what happens before we throw anyone under the bus. What's happened has happened in the past. We can't change that, right? Let's see where we go from here with Levy. You know, everybody's throwing him under the bus because of the past. Let's see if he has changed, and let's see if Angie's picking the players like he said he would, and see what happens. You know, I've had so much, and you and everybody in the chat. Well, I can't see the comments. Let me get them up. Right, everybody in the chat, every Spurs fan's had so much shit from this club. Right, let's try and be a bit positive this time, right, and see where we go forward.
Big up Leo says, I still can't figure out how to become a member. Please accept this as my monthly payment. Love you lots, Kate. Big up to you, Leo. Are you didn't have to do that at all, and you don't have to become a member because, you know, it's entirely your decision. Are you trying to do it on an iPhone? Because there is a video on my community page that tells you exactly how to do it on an iPhone. Let me know, and if I can help, I will. One of the biggest things to look forward to is Ndombele's return. Kuva says, I agree we expected bumps, Jim, but what happened sees us going through the next few months on 3 wheels over cobblestones with no suspension. Rough ride, but it will pick up again.
Yeah, of course it will.
Yeah.
One game. A doggy's back the next game. There's one player back, right? One more game after that.
Yeah, a doggy's back the next game and with Basuma's out.
Okay, all right. Then he's out for one game. The game after that, we get Romero back and you doggy, you know, and we start kicking in a little bit again. We just got to be patient with this guy, you know. Nobody can blame Ange. He's not a magician.
No one's blaming Ange, darling. No one's blaming him, but they're all saying, look, Jason, this is Levy's MO. Squad falters due to lack of quality. Levy sacks manager and goes round and round in a circle.
Look, he's given him a 4-year contract. They've obviously sat down and they've talked about a plan, right? Let's not all get all doom and gloom. Let's be upbeat about it and say, right, we got in January when we got our players back and brought some in, we'll kick on again and see where it takes us.
Big up to you, Ian Barron. I hope you are well. Always good to see you. Big up as well to Daniel Sandoval, bringing the love. As always, hope you're good. Ange's building something great. We need to trust him, not turn on him. I don't think people will turn on Ange. They will turn on Levy very soon. If he doesn't back him in January, there's going to be such a backlash.
We can't turn on Levy until January.
Yeah.
To see what he does.
Yeah, it's lack of depth we fear. That's exactly right, Dekaru. Exactly that. Eddie says Levy's remit for Ange is to make top 5, not win a trophy. Would you agree with this? 100%. That's Levy's remit for every manager. Get the Champions League, get the money in. That's all you need to do. That's why he never pushes us over the edge to get to that.
Well, let's see this time. Yeah, let's give him a chance. Let's give him the last window. I heard you saying that people out there in shame. No, it was a good window. You can't look. It's a business, right? As well as a football team. You can shake your head, darling, but you can't keep bringing players in, right? When you've got 1 million, when you've got like 10, 15 players, you've got to get out. You just can't pay wages after wages after wages. It's got to be sustainable, you know. And we had so many players to get out that we never got out till the end of the window, and there's still a lot of players to go out, you know. And these people are on massive wages. You just can't bring people in all the time. And just have it like Chelsea have. Tottenham can't do that. Tottenham won't do that. And I agree with it. You can't just keep paying loads of wages to people that are doing nothing. So it was a good window, and they brought in, I thought, a good amount of people. And we get to the next window, and he'll bring some more in and get rid of some.
Bill says you've gone from winning the league to not winning the league in the space of a week.
There's nothing I can do when the Chelsea game, when we get we lose Van der Ven for 2 months, 3 months. We lose Madison for 3 months, 2 months. We get what's his name? Silly ass
Romero,
right? The other one gone. Who else is injured?
Madison. You've done Madison. You did thingy. Richarlison, but he's not
I'm being realistic. What I'm thinking now, right? I thought to myself, we should have beat Chelsea if everything would have gone to plan and we hadn't have had idiots on the pitch. We would have beat Chelsea and we would have beat Wolves, right? It's a different scenario. We've lost 2 games now, and it's going to be very hard to win the next games without the players that are injured and suspended. So I'm just being realistic. You know, I'm not going to sit and say, yeah, we're going to win the league, because it don't look like we can now. Because I'm thinking to myself, unless they win the next 3 or 4 games, we're going to be too far behind City, because City are not going to lose 6 games, and I can see us in the next 6-7 weeks losing 4 games. So
Gargano says Ange will be sacked eventually, and a club management team with brains will snap him up and support his vision. Yep, much like was probably going to happen with Poch at Chelsea. Levy don't give a toss about 500 grand for winning the Karamak Cup. He wants the Champions League money. Yep. Wales as Darlington FC won 3-2 at home on Saturday. We're up to 22nd place now and 5 points from safety. Go on, the Darlington FC. Football Heritage TV says it's a process that will take time. Yep. I'm not saying it's not going to take time. I'm just saying I think if the fans turn on Levy, Levy will sack Ange. That's how it works. When the Levy out chants start, because the manager's not delivering, what does Levy do? He sacks the manager.
Yeah, but you've got to be realistic. This manager can't deliver with what he's got at the moment. We've got to give him time to get players back and bring some more players in. You know, look, at the end of the day, we saw what happened against Wolves. The guys, they're not up to it, the defenders.
Yeah, look, you're defending Levy, Jim, 23
I'm
years.
I'm not defending him. I'm saying give him a chance this January and see what he does before everybody says throw him under the bus. Let's see what he does in January. And if he doesn't, and then I'll come on here and say, yeah, I was wrong again. You know, I can't do no more than that. But what I won't do is not believe that he's not going to bring some players in till it happens. It's only 2 months to wait. That's all it is.
Chinaman says that's because the players we can't get rid of are Levy keeps buying shit that no one wants. That's so true. Our recruitment has been horrendous.
The scouting's been terrible. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who looked at Dembele and said, buy him. I ain't got a clue.
Considering we signed in the summer Madison, Vicario, Van der Ven and a few others, that was one window. We need another 2 or 3 like that. It'll take time. Yeah, but in that window, we also signed Solomon on a free, which I'm not sure was Ange's choice. I don't think Valise was Ange's choice. I don't think Phillips was Ange's choice. Sava said all along, Kate, proof of the pudding's in the eating. We need a few years and 3 or 4 windows that will demonstrate if Levy's changed and if we're serious. Agree. I agree totally. But whether that will happen remains to be seen. Yusuf says, what are your expectations now? Where do you see Spurs finishing given the injuries? I said at the start of the season, if we get any sort of Europe, it'll be a good season. So I'm sticking with that and hope that we get Europe, because that's the aim. That's what I said at the start. My expectations didn't change, but I was hoping we might nick Champions League. Now, I don't actually think we will. I'm not going to lie. I think we'll get Europa League, but that's still a good season for his first season.
I mean, what Kuba's saying now, right? It was fun and I loved it. I loved every second of it, right? And it is over now, and there's not much we can do. But I'm still not going to believe in this manager and the players that were brought in. Well, I don't believe in Dyer and Davis and people like that, but I just think that they'll slowly come back. Right, and we kick on again, and we can still finish in a good position in the league. I don't see why we can't.
January will show us, Kate and Jim, we've got to get players in and players of quality. Of course, they've got to be as good as or better than those that we already have. So there's competition for places, but it ain't going to happen. I just can see it a mile off. Kate, mate, Levy offers the same Happy Meals. Laugh out loud.
Kate, listen to me, right? You say it's not going to happen. Right, they've bought some good players in this window, right? This last window, they bought good players in, you know, so you can't say it's not going to happen the next window.
Yeah, but he only bought in the bare minimum good players. Jim. He bought in Solomon because he was free, right? He got in Valise because he's a young option and he was cheap. He got Ashley Phillips. He was young. He was cheap. Okay, he bought Van der Ven, Vicario, Madison. 3 good signings.
Yeah.
Very good signings. But the others, I'm not impressed.
Well, we haven't really had a chance to see the others.
Which speaks volumes.
Yeah, it does. But we still brought good signings in. And let's have a chance to see if they bring some more good ones in January. I don't want to sit here all doom and gloom about Spurs.
I'm not doom and gloom. I'm just saying we've seen this 1,000 times before. This is the Spurs cycle.
Well, maybe this is the 1,001 time it changes. Let's see.
Why have we allowed so many players to stay again? It's ludicrous, mixed with sentiment by Levy. I just think they buy crap and can never get rid of it.
I don't think it's sentiment. I think they just couldn't get rid of them. Who wants them?
Most rebuilds take a minimum of 3 windows for the new manager to get the players he wants in and the deadwood out. Agreed, 100%. But I mean, I expect Levy now, if he really has turned this massive corner that everyone seems to think he has, I expect to see a good windows. January, summer, like City do. Constantly a turnover. All right, we can't afford the players they buy, but constantly bringing in talent, turning it over. It's just, honestly, I literally don't know what to say about this club anymore. They make my head go.
Do you know what, though? Do you know what? Right? It's only been 2 losses. Let's not like the world's falling in. It's 2 losses. Listen to me. It's 2 losses. We got some crap on the pitch that we don't want, right? That hopefully will go in January, right? If not, they will be gone in the summer, right? Let's just take a step back, right? Take a deep breath. And think, right, we got Ange. Everybody seems to like him. We love his football. When he's got the right players, this type of football will work for us, right? Let's just take a step back, a bit of a breath, and say, right, we're in a sticky position now. Let's wait until January when we've got some players back. Some of the injuries will be back, suspensions will be back. A few come in the door, and then see where we go from there. It's not the end of the world, Kate. And if we lose the next 3 games, it's not the end of the world, because if we pick points up out of them with what we've got on the pitch, right? Romero will be back for a couple of them, but if we pick up some points, it'd be a bonus, because they're going to be hard games now. You know, I wasn't worried about anybody with the team, the 11 we had on the pitch for the beginning of the season, but it's changed now. So your narrative's got to change a bit, but I'm not going to get downbeat, because I think that we've got a good future with this club to look forward to, you know, over the next year.
Jason says, anyone heard from the young kid who gave Kate abuse? Yes, I have. I went onto the terrace after the Wolves game, and he said he didn't apologise, but he said he wishes he hadn't opened his mouth. So yeah, Sava says Mr. Negative said Europe would be amazing, Champions League phenomenal, standing by that. That's exactly what I said at the start of the season. I didn't even say Champions League. I said any sort of Europe would be amazing.
You know what, Sava? You know what? Right? I enjoyed the 10 games that we was top. I loved it, right? And I spouted off, and I enjoyed it. And I won't apologise for spouting off, because I believe if we'd have kept the same team, right, and got through to January and got something, we'd have had a chance, you know. And I believe that. So I'm not going to apologise for saying that. I thought we was going to apologise. But my narrative has changed now. I'm not an idiot, right? And it's going to be very, very difficult. And depending over the next 6 games, it's going to be difficult to see where we're going to finish in Europe, Champions League, or just below Champions League.
Minerals, I see what you're saying, but not only has Tapsoba just signed a new contract, but you've got to look at, we've got Van der Ven and Romero. So one of Tapsoba, Van der Ven or Romero is going to be on the bench, or be not necessarily on the bench, be a part player. I'm not sure he'd come in for that, but he's just signed a big new contract anyway, so I don't see that happening. Udogi, yeah, I don't class him as a new signing because we'd signed him and he was on loan, but yeah, he came into the club. Hi, Sava, mix that with an FA Cup. That would be a great achievement. Mr. Negative, is that you? I thought you were Captain Negative.
The other thing is they bought these other people in Mung, Lang. They've obviously bought them in for a reason. They haven't just employed them just to sit there. So they've obviously got a plan going forward.
We should have carted out the players that were not good enough by hook or by crook. Sessegnon get rid, Dyer get rid, Lloris get rid, and Ndombele get rid, Lo Celso get rid. I mean, Lloris, he could have gone, but Levy insisted on getting a fee for him, and it's just ridiculous. It's just
Who was that, Kate?
Lloris. He could have gone on a free, but Levy insisted he wanted a fee for him. He's been such a good servant to the club. Just let the bloody poor sod go.
Yeah, and then you ain't paying his wages.
Exactly. Jason says we could afford the players City buy. Levy just won't spend it. Look at Ndombele and Lo Celso, huge fees, and of course the wages. The wages are huge.
But that's not. Look, you can't blame Levy for them players. You got to blame the scouting system. I mean, because
he signs the checks. He signs the checks.
Well, yeah, I know, but he's got to trust them that they're the right players. I said to you, Kate, right? It's just mind-boggling that an enterprise like Tottenham, which is a massive, massive enterprise now, right, can have players like that in the club and paying them sort of wages. How it's ever happened? Like, people should be sacked. You know, they've spent like how much? 120, 130, 40 million on Dembele with his fee and his wages. You know, that's just criminal. For what? Has he ever played a full game for us? I don't know if he has he?
Don't know. Jason said, Jim, if we lose the next 3, that would be 5 lost on the trot. How is that acceptable?
Well, we're going to hate it as fans, right? We're going to hate it as fans. But I think it's going to be very difficult with our defence. Maybe when Romero comes back, it might be a bit better. But, I mean, I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
Exactly this. Didn't Jose Conte want certain players and Levy just buys who he wants? Exactly. He goes, I want so-and-so, and Levy goes to Primark and gets the equivalent, like Lloyd Kelly. Just madness. Big up to you, Donna Riley says, as a Man United fan, I much prefer Spurs to the Bottlers Arsenal. Is it Savre or Perchier? It's Savre, I think. My one current hope is that Ange watches training. We had that initial squad based on those who trained. We're running thin now, but we were still 1-0 up at 93 minutes on Saturday.
Their legs went, didn't they?
Good chat today. Yeah, well, do you know what? It's Tuesday night's going to be even better because it's going to be mine, Ellie, and Mia's take on the crisis at Spurs, the so-called crisis, the injuries, the match against Wolves, Levy.
It's not a crisis.
It is a crisis, Jim. It's not a club crisis. No, it's an injury crisis, though. Because
that's a crisis, but it's not the footballing side of it. It's not a crisis. It's just this is the bumps that Ange was talking about.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And it will end. It's not going to last, you know, until the end of the season. Let's see how we go over the next few games, right? And if we lose them, we've still got to stay level-headed, you know, and we've got to think of the people that are on the pitch, right? If we nick some points out of them, lovely, you know, and then kick on, you know, when we get players back and injuries back.
Kluber said, I expect nothing more than top 8 at the start of the season. I've been given a chance to dream much bigger for a few months, and I feel I will have another chance again. Title comes next season. Sava says, we needed a centre-back, buys a kid, needs a centre-forward, buys a kid. We need to buy with intent. Exactly what I said at the start of the show, Sava, exactly what I said, and I don't believe they were Ange's choices. If he wants 2 centre-backs, he ain't going to be picking Van de Ven and Phillips. You know, we get linked to all these big names, Tapsoba, Tosin, and we end up with Phillips. And Valise, I mean, he don't obviously like him that much, or Phillips, because they don't get a game. He'd rather put Dyer in. I mean, it's baffling. Tottenham have 6 scouts globally. That's due to Levy. We should have 6 just for London. And 6 good ones as well, Ben. Not some of the crap scouts we've had. William's a scout, and he could do better than these. And he's not even a football scout, just a scout. Jason says, I'm in charge of my work. No one higher than me. If I employ shit people, the axe falls on me. Exactly that. That's how it should be. Levy has never, ever changed. Agreed. Let's hope he does. Hit that like button before you go. Yes, big up, Bobby. Let's smash the like, subscribe. Let's get Kate over 1,000. Big up to you, Ian Barron. Long way off. Football's no longer a 90-minute game, so winning after 93 minutes means sod all. Exactly. It was more than just our legs going. Ange ball never even happened. Sad to watch. Agreed.
It was a terrible game.
Jim, we can lose 5 straight off. This is what we said, didn't we, Jim? He even said that. I can't see us beating Villa. I can't see us beating City. I can't see us beating Newcastle. I can't see us beating West Ham. it's a real sorry state of affairs at the minute. It really is. If we lose the next 5 games, we won't even ever be called bottlers, as that counts us out of the title race. People already talked about title races, Ellie. But this is what... I'm not going to go down that road. Watching it Saturday could have been Conte in the dugout. Agreed. It's not an injury crisis. It's 2 players. It's Maddison and Van der Ven. Yeah, Romero suspended. Richie's injured, but again, I don't think that's a bad thing. Is that all the injuries we've got? Maddison and Van der Ven?
It's the defenders. You know,
Romero getting suspended. I suppose it's not a crisis, but it feels like a bloody crisis.
Yeah, because you've lost 2 games in a row. And the thing is, right, the Chelsea game, it was so frustrating because I thought Sonny's goal was a goal. Well, I've seen it so many times, and I don't say it's not a goal. But anyway, even with them being 1-0 up, why they didn't keep their head, Romero and Udogie, it's so frustrating because we would have beat them, you know.
Yeah, I think that all this belief's based off one decent win. Now, let's be fair, we had to sell Kane to buy Van der Ven, Vicario and Madders. If he backs the manager for 3 or 4 windows, I'll believe. Yeah, I think that's how most people are feeling, to be fair.
But we can only go 1 window at a time. That's all we can do.
Dyer can defend. I mean, he defends that haircut to his miss. Going live in 4 minutes. Yeah, I've got to go to the tip. Actually, in 3 minutes. But head on over to Ben's after me.
I'm coming over, Ben.
I4 promoted from Mr. Yeah, captain negative now, Sava. At least Conte called it as it is, and there's 20 years under this owner and they never win anything. It's in the history of the Tottenham, this team, these players.
But you know what? There were so many people, right? There were so many people with belief a few weeks ago. And because of what's happened, right, so many people are just going, feeling so down, but don't. Because it's still... You know, it's still the beginning of Anne's project, right? I got carried away. A lot of us got carried away, but it was fun. I enjoyed being carried away. But let's just take a step back and let's see what happens over January and the end and the rest of this season before we all get doom and gloom.
You should have been carried away in a straitjacket. That's what you should have. Yeah.
Yeah, but this has happened now. And we've got to accept it, and we've just got to accept it until we get our players back. And we buy a few in January to see where we kick on to. I'm not going to sit here thinking that's our season done. We're going to finish the bottom of the league, you know.
Well, no, nobody's thinking that, Jim.
We'll still finish in a decent position because we've got good points now, right? So if we lose a few, it's not going to push us too far down the table, and we get players back and injuries back.
Hearing all this, we should have beat Chelsea. I love Jim, but before Romero lost his head, we had 7 shots and 2 goals chopped off. That's
Mark. If we would have stayed calm, right? If we would have stayed calm and didn't lose our heads, I'm convinced we would have beat you. I'm sorry, mate. I am. And if I look at a game and think we're going to lose, I will tell you we was lucky to get away with that or whatever. But I think we would have won that game if we'd have kept our heads.
Drula thinks we'll beat Villa, which I don't. I think we'll be lucky if we get a draw. We'll lose to City, agreed. We'll draw with West Ham. I can see possibly a draw with West Ham and win against Newcastle. It all depends who Newcastle have got back because they look to shadow themselves the weekend.
We're going to have a few players back, haven't we?
Big up, Nathan. Wayne says only 2 league defeats in 12 is still 26 games to go. Will be fine. Listen, guys, that's me done for today. I need to go to the tip, which I'm not looking forward to, but I've got to. I am back tonight at 6 p.m. on the Football Terrace with the Big Six Live. I'm also back tomorrow lunchtime at 1. Just for a chat. But tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Join myself, Mia from Spurs Between the Lines, and Ellie as we host There Is to Debate, when we will delve more further into the game, the injuries, the repercussions, and everything to do with what's gone on the last 2 weeks, but mainly against the Wolves game. We will be delving into it, the 3 of us. So make sure you tune in. Oh, God, look, a doggy's injured. Just come up on Twitter. Lovely jubbly. Just what we need. Great show, Kate. Thanks, Deli. Good to see you. Please, everyone, hit the likes. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. As I say, join me late at 6 p.m. on the terrace, tomorrow at 1, and then tomorrow night is our debate show. But have a great day, everyone. Anything you want to say, Jim, before we go?
I'll see you Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
I'll see you
Jim.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, thanks to everyone for coming in. And just
Yeah.
don't try and be too down about it. Just give it a bit of time.
Yeah, Jim says give it time. What can I say? Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. All love, Jimbo. Yeah, all love.
Always.
Yeah. If you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, don't get caught. Big up.